So tonight, I'm going to share with you how you can employ this same concept of leverage that the wealthiest people in the world do, and it allow you to get your share of that kind of wealth. And I'm happy to say, I'm one of the wealthiest people in the world. You know that? Now, you know what? I don't have Bill Gates' money. I don't have Larry Ellison's money. I couldn't spend $90 million on a boat down in the Kiwi race there next week. But you know what? I'm one. If there's 6 billion people, whatever there is on this planet, I'm wealthier than 5,990,000, whatever, 99.8% of them. And I'm a dishwasher from a pancake house. But I understood leverage. Now, how do you put this leverage? It's a business called network marketing, sometimes called multi-level marketing. Sometimes we call it MLM for short. What is it? It's a business that allows you to leverage the efforts of other people who have a dream and are willing to trade that 7 to 10 hours a week to get a dream. So you're going to introduce them to the business. You're going to teach them a duplicatable system that they could follow and duplicate the same results with people that they're going to introduce to the business, and create this system that everybody can follow, and everybody will get a nice chunk of the organization that is built. And because you direct your own organization, because you are your own boss, you get some residual income out of the efforts of the people that you introduce to the business. That's the leverage. It's no different than when Madonna makes a record, and every time they play that CD, she gets a royalty of that. When Coppola does a movie and that movie plays, it gets a royalty of that. This is how the average person can get leverage. See, if you got money, leverage is not a problem. You can leverage your money. You can buy stocks, bonds, invest in companies, invest in real estate, all that kind of stuff. I couldn't do that. If you could buy a franchise. If I would have bought a restaurant franchise instead of opening my own restaurant, chances are I'd still be in the restaurant business. But you know what? I couldn't afford the franchise fee. I didn't have that kind of money. Ask someone about the stock market, they'll tell you, unless you got $25,000 you can afford to lose, don't even get in the stock market. Well, I didn't have $25,000 I could afford to lose. I didn't have $25 I could afford to lose. So I didn't have the money to leverage. And if you got a couple $100,000, couple million you can leverage, hey, maybe you don't even need to be here tonight. But I'm speaking to the rest of you who don't have that kind of money. And the rest of you who used to have that kind of money till the stock market tanked, and now your retirement fund is 40% of what it was 2 years ago. Okay, let's talk about how you build your security. Well, so what is network marketing? It's just a new paradigm in distribution. Been around for over 50 years now. And it is, why I say it's a new paradigm in distribution is because it's changing the way we get products and services to the consumer. And with things that have happened recently, like the internet, overnight shipping, satellite, telephone, fax technology, all of this stuff is driving network marketing to be a bigger force today than it has ever been. So it's been growing consistently for more than 50 years. There are somewhere between 14 to 16 million people in the network marketing direct selling industry. And it will do somewhere between 70 and 80 billion dollars US this year. So this is a very credible business. And if you've been reading the financial papers the last few years, you've seen it mentioned in the Wall Street Journal, had front page cover stories on Success Magazine, Forbes Magazine. The mainstream press is really starting to pick up on this. Now, why is that happening? Is because it's the future. It's what has to be, because what has happened in the past doesn't work anymore. In other words, here's how it used to work in distribution. We'd have a manufacturer. They would make a product. They would sell it to a wholesaler who would buy it, resell it to a rack jobber who would buy it, resell it to a retail chain. They would buy it, send it to a warehouse somewhere, sits in a dusty warehouse for 6 weeks, and then it gets transferred by truck, maybe it goes to the store, and then you come in the store and you buy this product. Well, they had to make money, they did. You have all these parasites who were taking money out of your product. I say, why am I calling all those people parasites? Well, it's not that they're not nice people, it's just that made sense 100 years ago. It doesn't make sense today. Because today, we can have a network marketing company manufacture a product and send it direct to a distributor who in many cases is the end consumer, and in other cases is just conversationally marketing the products with their friends, neighbors, and relatives, and we eliminate all these other people in the middle. So look at the difference. This made sense 100 years ago. Something came by boat over here. Maybe it went from California, it went on a ship, came to the East Coast here, and then it was transported across to Australia, over to the outback. It was the same thing with us. We used to get stuff from England, and it would land in Boston or New York, and then it would go by stagecoach across the country, and then it went by train, and then it went by truck, and this is the only way it worked. This is all we knew. Then we got fax machines. We got the internet. We got Federal Express, UPS, overnight delivery. We got 800 telephone numbers. We got fax machines. All of a sudden, this doesn't work anymore. It's a broken model. Why do you think so many businesses have been in bankruptcy in the last 5 years? And I mean big name, 100, 200-year-old companies, retailing giants like Macy and stalwarts that we would think have been around forever. They went into bankruptcy court. Why? Because they have a broken distribution model. This is the model of today. This is the model of the future. And with what we're doing now with internet and 800 numbers and ordering, this is going to get just bigger and bigger and bigger. So what this does is this allows you an opportunity to participate on a new paradigm in distribution. I want you to think when fortunes were made. They're made in revolutions. The agricultural revolution made a bunch of rich landowners. The industrial revolution made a bunch of rich factory owners and business owners. If you think of Carnegie, the steel, the Amoco people, the Standard Oil people, the Henry Ford and the Chryslers, and think of all the old money today. It all came from the families we know today. It came from the Industrial Revolution. So now we have the distribution revolution. So what this means is that 50 years, 75 years from now, there's going to be a meeting at a hotel somewhere in Sydney, Australia, and they're going to say, think about the old money today, the Gage money, the Hawkins money, your money, and say that was made in the distribution revolution. Because they saw the power of the internet, overnight shipping, fax machines, 800 number, and how to put all this together into the new paradigm of distribution. This is what we're in right now. And I believe the next 2 years is going to be the biggest years of growth in the history of the industry. And you could be a part of it. Well, your income 40 years from now is going to be present on what you do for the next 2 years. Now notice, we have all this money that got wasted before. Where did it go? Well, there's two places it goes. Number one, it goes to product research and development. And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. And the other place it goes is right here to you, the distributor. The people who actually get involved with the business. All this money that you, because see, sometimes you could go to the store, you could buy a box of cereal for $3.50. The actual cereal, the cost of that cereal might be 40 cents, 35 cents. What is all the rest of that money? It's all this wasted layers of distribution. So see, that isn't necessary anymore. So that money gets freed up, and because you are a pioneer of the industry, because you are somebody with a vision and a dream, and you're willing to trade the 7 to 10 hours a week to get the dream, you are going to cash in about that. I want to sketch out how the business really works so you get an idea how the money takes place and how you can participate in that. I guess, is this? I think this is, I found the secret. You do it a little different here down under. All right, let's talk about how you make money in the business. You, not me, not them, you. How do you make money? Well, you got a dream. You're willing to trade 7 to 10 hours a week for 2 to 4 years to get your dream. So you sponsor in the business. Okay, you make that commitment. Your sponsor says, all right, I'm going to work with you, train with you. What we're going to do is we're going to help you identify, and I'll use this as an example, 6 people who you know who have a dream and would be willing to trade 7 to 10 hours a week to get the dream. Fair enough? Everybody follow me so far? Everybody follow me so far? All right, just making sure you're not nodding off over there. All right, now let's suppose that everybody involved in the business produces a volume this first month that you get involved in the business of $100. Now notice I didn't say $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. I said just $100. Why? Because I want to show you this is very simple, very duplicatable, very doable for everyone. The secret of this business is leverage. We have a lot of people doing a little bit, just 7 to 10 hours a week. So now if you and each of the 6 people you introduce into the business produce a volume of $100 the first month, you'd have $700 worth of volume in your organization, right? Now, we have a lot of different companies represented here tonight. There's all kind of different pay plans. But I think you're going to find as an average, what you're going to see in the business is you can make about 10% of what your organization does in volume. So if you had 6 people plus yourself, everybody did $100, you'd have $700 volume, so you'd make $70 your first month in the business. Now you say, come on, Gage, you brought me here for $70 a month. I can't even wash my Lamborghini for $70 a month. I understand. But see, believe me, I understand. I know what it's like to keep cars clean. But this is just month number 1. And how much, if you're a doctor, and by the way, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an accountant, you know what plan you work under? Trading time for money. Just like the bus boy at the Denny's restaurant, the doctor, the lawyer, the accountant, trading hours for dollars, same thing. So how much did you make when you learned to be an accountant? You probably went to school for 10 years. While you learned to be a nurse, when you learned to be a doctor, when you learned to be a lawyer. Think how many. You didn't make anything. So don't be crying about your lousy $70 here, okay? Because you're learning the business. Because look what happens next. Now, the second month, we're going to say, we're going to help you help your people. We're going to teach you that duplicatable system to teach your people. And we're going to have them, now we're going to say they're not quite as bright as you are, okay? They didn't quite get this as good as you did. So they each got 5 people that they're introducing to the business, all right? Now, of course, it will not work out exactly this way, because I know some of you accountants there are sitting there thinking, okay, this guy might only get 4. Don't worry about that. I'm just making an example. So you got the 6, and the 6 each got the 5. Well, that would put 30 new people in your organization. Plus, you still have the 6, plus you got you. So now, the second month, you'd have 37 people, each doing $100. How much would that be? $3,700, right? So 10% of that would be how much? $370. Now you say, okay, $370 is a nice little pin money, but it still isn't going to buy my Lamborghini. I understand that. But that's just month number 2. Because all of a sudden, look what happens. There's 36 other people who are, now they're not working for you, they're working for themselves. So they're not calling in sick, they're not stealing paper clips to take home, okay, none of this stuff. They're all working for themselves, right? Now, what happens when we duplicate the process? And we say, now we're going to teach them how to teach their people. And you say, well, how do you do that? We've got a complete step-by-step duplicatable system to show you how to do that. You're going to teach your people how to teach their people. So we say, what if those 5 each just got 4? Now, why I'm doing this? Because I want to be really, really conservative. If I showed you what could really happen, I'm afraid you might swallow your teeth. So I'm going to be very conservative. So now if the 30 people each just got 4 people, now we'd have 120 new people in the organization. They don't work for you, they work for themselves. 7 to 10 hours a week, they're building a dream. 120 plus the 30 plus the 6 plus you, that's 157 people. Everybody just doing not $1,000 a month, not $10,000 a month, not 100 lousy dollars a month does $15,700 income or volume, which means your income for month number 3 would be $1,570. Now all of a sudden we have a little money, we could play with something. We could do something with $1,500 a month. Do you know how many bankruptcies would be avoided with $1,500 a month? I would make a bet to say of all the personal bankruptcies, and there's been a record year for personal bankruptcies the last 6 or 7 years in a row. Every single year has broke the record from the year before. And I had someone very close to me did this just a couple of years ago. And I'm telling you, I bet 90% of them would be eliminated with $1,500 a month. In fact, 90% of them would probably be eliminated with $300 or $400 a month. Just this much, the $370 a month, would help most people that they could just start paying down their credit cards instead of paying those minimum balances every month. By the way, do you know how long it takes to pay off your credit card if you're paying the minimum balance every month? 10 years? 20 years? 30 years? 40 years. That's how long it takes. So if you're paying the minimum payment every month, get happy, because in 2042, you're all paid off. All right, now we're going to go down one more level. Now we're going to say, what if the 4 people each just work with 3 people? Now again, everybody's not going to do it this way. Some are going to do it more, some are going to do it less, but I just want you to see how it works. Now the 120 people each do 3 people. That give us 360 people, plus the 120, plus the 30, plus the 6. This comes to how many? Somebody help me. I'm a high school dropout. 500 and something. 517, is that right? Who's here? Somebody good in math? So 517 times 100 is $51,700 volume in your little business that you got no employees, no office, no overhead. You're running this from your kitchen table or your spare bedroom or your hallway or your closet. And you're doing $50,000 volume a month. Do you understand? We can leave this hotel. We can go down the street, Elizabeth Street. We can go onto Oxford Street. We can go to Liverpool. And we can find shop after shop, beauty salon after beauty salon, store after store, dry cleaner that are not doing $50,000 volume a month. And you're doing it out of a part-time business, 7 to 10 hours a week. Why? Because you're using leverage. Do you get this? Yes! Because, I mean, do you really, really get this? Yes! Because, let me tell you a secret. If you get this, you're not going to sleep very well tonight. Believe me, I have spent many a night just laying on the pillow, looking at the ceiling, and seeing 6 get the 5, get the 4, get the 3. Okay? If you understand this, now we're talking $5,170 a month. Now you know what? I did that in 4 months. It said 1, 2, 3. What if you didn't do that in 4 months? What if it took you 6 months? What if it took you 10 months? What if it took you 2 years? I told you it's a 2 to 4 year plan. Okay? And I know what some of you are thinking. All right, but what about if this guy here drops out? We got it handled. Okay? We have a thing called dynamic compression, and so we know when someone drops out, we eliminate that volume, we move up the next qualified person, and the whole organization moves up. So we got that covered too. Okay? So, but what if you didn't do this in 6 months? What if you didn't do it in 10 months? What if it took you 2 years? Would it be worth trading 7 to 10 hours a week for 2 years to have an extra $5,170 a month? Yes or no? Aren't you glad you got the front row, baby? Now, let me get some more water here. And let me ask the question again. Would it be worth trading 7 to 10 hours a week for 2 to 4 years to get an extra $5,170 a month? Yeah! All right. Thank you. That's a little better. That's what I'm talking about. When you get this, when you really get this, you're not going to sleep tonight. Because you see how a dishwasher from a pancake house could become a multimillionaire. You see how a farmer's wife from Utah could make $80,000 US a month. You see how a woman with 2 kids, and an abusive husband could leave her husband and become a multimillionaire. You see how people on welfare can build complete financial independence. And they can do it with integrity. They can do it with honor. They can do it with helping other people, giving value, contributing. That's what we got to offer here. So see, now you say, okay, all that sounds good, it looks good, but what's the problem? What is the $100? Well, I told you, remember that whole distribution model? We have all of that money that used to get wasted. Now that goes into product research and development. You will see some of the most cutting-edge, state-of-the-art products in network marketing that you won't see anywhere else in the world today. Some of the best scientific breakthroughs, some of the best health breakthroughs, some of the best wellness breakthroughs, medicine breakthroughs, herbal breakthroughs have been personal care products, environmentally non-toxic, natural products. Some of the most breakthrough products in all of those categories have been brought to the marketplace because of network marketing, because they have the time, the money, the research, the resources to do that kind of research. So what I'm going to ask you is, if you're here, you're looking at this for the first time tonight, if you're on the video and you're seeing this for the first time tonight, you have a conversation with the person who invited you here. Have a conversation with the person who asked you to watch the video. And they will give you a catalog. They'll give you some brochures. They might have some tapes, some videos, some other things, and you'll find out about these products. What I want you to see tonight, right now, is the big picture. How the distribution model works, because this is how fortunes are made. People who recognize new paradigms become pioneers in those paradigms, and they reach the reward for generations sometimes. So the products are there.